Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our April 2024 OC-HMS user meeting. Please go ahead and enter your agency name into the chat so we can take attendance. We will cover the following topics in this meeting. We have an update regarding HIC and Shelter Pit, HMS Help Desk ticket categories, table functionalities regarding access roles, deleting program enrollments, client profile merges, residents prior to entry, street outreach exiting protocol, an update regarding CS referrals, also an update regarding the HMS account update form, also including an update regarding client consent form, project performance reports, and some resources we wanted to share with our community. We will have some time for Q&A for any topics that we cover in today's meeting. And for any general HMS functionality, our HMS team will stay online for office hours. We want to first off thank all the agencies that are participating in this year's HIC and Shelter Pit. We appreciate your ongoing support with reviewing your data and providing additional details for our team to understand how your project is operating and how your bed utilization was used during this year's HIC and PIT. For any agencies that have outstanding item, we wanted to give you a friendly reminder that all data should be finalized by end of day today. Agencies that do have outstanding items, our team have reached out to you, so please do review the items that need to be resolved today. On Monday, April 8th, we will be sending all the agencies your final HIC-PIT submission to compare to the HDX upload. We ask that all agency admin review to compare and verify that the data matches between your HIC and PIT submission to HDX. Please provide a confirmation by end of day Wednesday, April 10th, and to send a friendly reminder, we are not making any additional corrections. We're just comparing that the data from your submission is matching the HDX upload. And we are aiming to have all of the HIC-PIT submissions uploaded and submitted in HDX by Friday, April 12th. Again, thank you all for your ongoing support. I don't think I see any questions regarding HIC and PIT, so we'll move forward. Diana?
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to go over some changes to the submit a ticket form. We've added some new categories, and we also wanted to remind you that only agency administrators should be submitting tickets on behalf of the agency. So this way we only have 1 or 2 points of contact. So our new categories, I'm going to go through them and sort of give you a brief description of what we're looking for when you submit a ticket. So first off, we have agency or project setup. This is for new agencies and for adding new programs to existing agencies. You should also submit updates to your bed inventory here, or if you have custom fields that you would like to update, say on the program enrollment screen or on an assessment. So basically this category relates to any sort of setup regarding your agency or project. The client record merges, this is pertaining to client profiles or client program merges that need to be done. So say, for example, you search up a client and you find that they have 2 profile records and you want them merged together. Or if you've done, we've done a client merge and you need to have a program moved or anything like that. So this is where you'll submit those tickets. For client record requests, this is something that we know from doing audits throughout the year that not many agencies will be using this category. This is when a client requests a copy of their HMIS information. Next is HMIS functionality issues. If you're unable to perform an action in HMIS or you're having trouble trying to figure out how to do a particular function in HMIS, this is the category you'll select. Next, we have reports. This is when you need help creating a new report or you need changes to an existing report that we've developed for your agency. And finally is users and training. This is when you have a new user that you need to submit an account setup form for. This is also if you need to reset training courses, if a user is coming back from a leave of absence, for example. And then finally, this is also where you'll be submitting tickets if you have trouble logging into HMIS, whether it be the training site or the live site. So this is where you'll sort of put all of those HMIS account and logging in questions. So at this point, we wanted to open it up to everyone who's on the call. If you have any other suggested categories for us.
Hey, what about login issues?
So login issues, we would put that in the user and training category. So it's related to all sort of account issues, basically.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And I've put the link in for the submit a ticket form. Again, this is only limited to agency administrators. So if you're a user at an agency and you're having problems with a particular issue, please contact your agency administrator and they'll be able to assist you. If they aren't, then they will submit a ticket on your behalf regarding the issue.
Well, thank you, Diana. I also wanted to add some notes under reports. Any questions regarding reports or any data corrections, such as we sent out data quality reports and draft data and PPR, all those topics should be under reports. And as Diana mentioned, agency admins are the only users that should be submitting tickets to the HMS Help Desk. So for HMS agency users, we recommend that first you review our knowledge base article library to see if you could find the topics you're looking for. We do have a handful of topics that articles that can help you with questions you may have. And if you can't find that topic, please escalate that to your agency admin and they'll escalate that topic or issue to the HMS Help Desk. Diana, I don't see any other questions coming in, so we'll move forward for now. But if anyone does have any questions, feel free to unmute or add it to the chat, or feel free to ask during our Q&A. So we'll move forward for now. Michaela?
Good morning, everyone. The HMIS Help Desk has put together a table of functionalities per access role that can assist with support on different functionalities the user may have access to process on their end. So each role has a functionality listed from the previous access role you might have moved from right to left. So for example, the HMIS agency admin will have access to all the functionalities listed for the HMIS agency staff, in addition to specific access role rights from the HMIS agency admin account role. We wanted to review the different access roles and how the HMIS system supports our community.
Thank you, Michaela. And as Michaela mentioned, we just kind of wanted to highlight the different functionality. You'll see that HMS users have all of that list. As Michaela mentioned, the agency admin has that in addition to the right to delete information, and you'll notice that it's under your agency. So you only have the right to make edits to your agency access, and if you're given additional agency access, it is also dependent on the role you have under those agencies. Something we wanted to highlight under CES is that this role does have to be approved by the CS leads. And in addition to making referrals and creating housing opportunities, the agency admins do have the ability to edit files uploaded for CES. So please keep that in mind. It is important to review to ensure when you're removing information that it is because it is an error. So for users that encounter any errors, please do reach out to your agency admin so that they can review and provide guidance if those records should be edited or removed. And you'll notice that under HMS system admin, we do, the HMS team has additional functionality that we can support our community with. So when you run into errors with referrals, we can support with making edits or making linkage. And for profiles, client profiles, we can support with client profile merges. And when it comes to enrollment, we are able to support with moves. Thank you, Michaela. I don't see any questions, so we'll move forward.
I have some questions.
Okay.
So, in looking at this chart, where is read only in terms of access rights?
Thank you, Carmen, for your question. So read only actually, since that account actually doesn't have any functionality in HMS, they aren't able to make any edits or run reports. So the user with read-only access can only review data entered, such as under the history tab, they can review services and CS referrals and just click and view data that's entered in.
But so given that, I mean, shouldn't that be listed in terms of what they have access to on here? Because the reason I'm saying this is because I get a lot of requests for read only, and then and I know that you can have read only and also have CES access, right? So for me and for people who are moving between roles, you know, maybe they might get promoted or something like that, it's easier for me to know what I need to ask for on the account update form, or what I need to ask the people who are asking me to give them CES access or the ability to attend match meetings. So CES access is different than, because you can have read only and then still be allowed to attend CES access CES match meetings, correct?
Yes, correct, Carmen. We do have an article called HMS staff training, which actually does include a little bit more details. So we'll collect your question and include that in our meeting minutes and expand on that and include the read-only account information. But the read-only account doesn't have any functionality other than just reviewing data. So that role, you can only review data under the history tab or click and enroll enrollment data. And that's all that account can do. There's no edits. That account cannot make any edits. That account cannot run any reports. So that's a little bit more detail regarding read only.
Okay, I guess I'm just asking for some other type of chart, maybe not here, but something else that outlines, you know, what you have access to. So for example, you have to have So here you say CES access and approval is required. People at Mercy House, they think that if they have CES access, they can attend match meetings. And I'm not sure if, I don't know, there's been some kind of change, and we can take this offline. Maybe I can send an email, but I feel like there needs to be some more clarification on how you get to attend match meeting, because that has changed recently. And what kind of training you need to have, and what type of access would you need to have to be able to attend match meetings. I'm not clear on that either.
Well, yeah, thank you, Carmen. We appreciate your feedback and question. We do have a slide later on today, later on in this meeting to review on how to collect information of those read-only access account to participate in the match meeting. We have that in the HMIS account update form, so we'll cover that topic today. But yes, we will have more information and include your question in our meeting minutes to expand on. But yes, read-only access users can review CS referrals and CS data, and they can attend the match meeting if it's part of their job responsibility. So we'll cover that later on today in this meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carmen, for your question and feedback. And Carmen, feel free, if we don't address your question, please do submit a ticket. We would like to further discuss that with you. We also have Amy in the chat, part of the CS lead, that is also offering support if you would like to reach out. So thank you for your question. I don't see any other questions regarding functionality, so we'll move forward for now. Michaela?
So here we have deleting program enrollments. If you do not see the trash icon when hovering over the program enrollment, it is most likely that there are services attached to the enrollment. So you would need to delete the services first. Step 1, you would navigate to the History tab and hover over the left of the service that you wish to delete until the trash icon appears, and then select it. Step 2, after you click on the trash icon, you will be able to get the following message, which over to the right, you will click OK, and then the service will be deleted. Step 3, proceed with deleting the program enrollment. And then I'm going to go ahead and show a live demonstration of how it will look when deleting the service. Elizabeth, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen and you're on the training site, so thank you.
Thank you so much for your confirmation. So here we have both duplicate program enrollments. And if the trash icon is not appearing, it's because the client is still using the service within the program. So in order to delete the enrollment, you want to go through both program enrollments to see which has more history, in which this one has utility assistance and housing notes. And then into this one, it only has case management. So once you see which one has the most history, you want to go to the History tab, in which it'll show you a list of services. You will go ahead and proceed with deleting the service. And then after deleting the service, you want to go back to the Programs tab, and then the trash icon should appear, in which you can go ahead and select and delete it. And you want to confirm that as well, so that way it is deleted. And that will complete deleting a program enrollment. Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela, for going over that demo. Something I do want to know before how to deal, or Diana or Michaela, could you confirm you see the slide?
Yes.
Thank you. Just something to note as we're users that are encountering duplicate program enrollment and need to remove enrollment. Again, this functionality is only under the agency admin role, so you would have to reach out to your agency admin to support with reviewing and verifying that the enrollments should be The duplicate enrollment should be removed, and before moving forward with removing services, compare to see if there's any notes or any services that needs to be transferred from the duplicate enrollment to the primary enrollment, and then processing and removing the duplicate enrollment. We're just going to take a quick pause to see if there's any questions. And thank you, Diana. Diana included some of our knowledge base articles that's helpful to review, deleting services and deleting program enrollments. I don't see any questions right now, so we'll go ahead and move forward for now. Diana?
So this is building on what we just went over regarding deleting a program enrollment. After a client is merged in HMIS, he should check the program enrollments to ensure there are no duplicate enrollments for the client. If you find that there are duplicate enrollments, your agency administrator can delete the enrollment. For more information on deleting a program enrollment, please review the following knowledge base article, Deleting Program Enrollment, which we just covered in the previous slide. And I did put the knowledge base articles for if you find a duplicate client record, what do you do? And also the delete program enrollment knowledge base article as well.
Thank you, Diana. I don't see any questions coming in right now, so we'll go ahead and move forward. Hugo?
Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be covering residents prior to entry. Recently, the HMIS Help Desk team has noticed an influx of data entry errors corresponding with data element 3.917, prior living situation. Data referring to a client's prior living situation is collected from the head of household and any adults at the project start and should reflect where the client was as of the night before their project start date, not necessarily where the client was on the date the information is being collected. Users should take careful note not to confuse the client's prior living situation with their living situation prior to their current episode of homelessness, as the former refers to a single date and time, while the latter refers to an extended period of time. More information about this topic can be found in our knowledge base article, Residents Prior to Entry.
Thank you, Hugo. And for all attendees on the meeting, please do keep an eye out on the chat as we're going to be sharing the knowledge base articles as we cover them in the meeting. And thank you, Hugo. I don't see any questions right now, so we'll move forward.
Next, I'll be covering the street outreach exiting protocol. Clients should be exited from street outreach projects when they become housed in the projects they were referred to. The exit destination should reflect the appropriate project type they were referred to. Clients referred to an emergency shelter or transitioning housing project should be exited on the date they were enrolled into the emergency shelter or transitional housing project. Clients referred to rapid rehousing, permanent supportive housing, or other permanent housing projects should be exited on the date coinciding with the referral project's move-in date. Please take note that if a staff member cannot make contact with a client within 60 days of their last contact date, then the exit date should be set to the date the client last received services, not the date the staff member is processing the exit. The exit destination should be set to no exit interview completed.
Thank you, Hugo. I don't see any questions coming in at this moment, so we'll move forward. Diana?
Okay, we wanted to follow up on the CES referral update. We wanted to highlight a scenario that was brought up during our last user meeting. If a client is not allowed to return to a specific shelter, where do we document that when adding a bed reservation. Recommendation is for participants unable to return to a specific shelter to include the information on the bed reservation assessment under special needs and in the referral note. Please include the date that the participant is eligible to return to the shelter. This means the participant is ineligible to return to emergency shelter until the date. And then all information should be documented in HMIS and not sent in by email. So on the right-hand side, we have the bed reservation assessment. And what you want to do for does the household require special accommodation? You should put yes. And then if yes, please describe. And this is where you'll put your note in and then date it as well. And then on the referral itself, you can put in notes. And this is the screenshot below on the right-hand side. There's a notes section, and then you can type in your note, put in all the information that's required, and then click Send Note. And this will document the information in both places for the CES leads.
Thank you, Diana. I don't see any questions at this moment, so we'll move forward. Diana?
Okay, so we have an update to the HMIS account update and testing form for read-only users that would like to be included in the CES mailing list. The form was changed again or will be changed. We haven't implemented the changes just yet to make things more streamlined for the CES leads. As a reminder, the read-only users will need to take the Coordinated Entry System training course, but they will not be granted additional agency access to the County of Orange. They will be added to the CES mailing list only. So on the right-hand side, you can see where we've added in the yellow highlights some text information where we're kind of trying to differentiate, do you want to be added to the family match meeting mailing list or the individual match meeting email list? And so we have you select the access. And again, this is not actually giving the user additional agency access. This is just to differentiate between the two meetings that they will be attending. We also include their primary role so that the CS leads can know that information on their side. So again, this is for read-only users that would like to be added to the family or individual CES match meetings. And so again, this is not granting additional agency access. This is just granting access to the meetings. We do have a question. How about the TAY meetings? Elizabeth, are the TAY meetings a separate meeting altogether, or is it included within family or individual?
Thank you, Diana, for that question. Oh, Erin, feel free to provide.
I think it is a separate meeting, but it's not a separate project in HMIS, which is part of the confusion, I think. But I think they do have their own mailing list. So we will probably have to update the form to include pay and veterans as well.
Okay, yeah, definitely, no problem. Thank you for pointing out us missing that information. So Please stay tuned for these changes. This is going to be something that will roll out in the next few weeks. And we'll probably revisit this again in our next user meeting to sort of highlight the changes that we make.
I have a question regarding, so read-only access, they still need to complete CES training, but they don't have CES access.
Correct.
So,
Correct. Mm-hmm.
so, but normally, so if you are an HMIS user, you complete HMIS training 1 and 2, and you take the skills test, and then you take the CES training course to have full HMIS and CES access, yes?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then if you are a read-only access role, you take HMIS training 1 and 2, no skills tests, and CES training.
So for read only, they are only required to take HMIS Part 1, and they do not take any other training, and they do not take the skills test. So it's simply just HMIS 1.
But it says here, so for read only with.
If you're for the CES leads are requiring that users take the coordinated entry training in order to attend that meeting.
Right.
So that's a CES lead requirement that training is completed, but you don't need to do the HMIS Part 2 training.
Yeah, I know, and because we were on the same email thread. What I'm just trying to say is this is confusing. The way this is laid out is confusing to me. It would be nice if there was some kind of chart or something to say. I just needed some kind of way. I needed to have it a little bit clear for myself, because I'm not able to support my staff because it's not clear to me what's needed.
Okay, so Carmen, what we can do is we'll go ahead and sort of work on this, and then also we can create a ticket with you and sort of provide that information and sort of give you that information, and honestly kind of work with you regarding this form so that it's a little bit clearer for you and pretty much everyone in the community, so it's clearer for them as well, so that they understand how to move forward with a read-only account that needs access to the CES match meetings.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Carmen, for your feedback and question. We appreciate that, as we want to make this process clear. So anyone who has questions regarding these updates, please do add that into the chat, or speak with your agency admin and submit a ticket and provide feedback. We want to ensure that this form is clear and that you can support your staff with appropriate access that they need for their job responsibility. And to clarify, as Diana mentioned, they won't be given access to County of Orange, but with read-only access, as mentioned previously, the users are still able to review data. So when users go under the History tab and the Enrollment tab, they can review data. When they hover over certain entries, they'll see an eye icon, and that means that they can view the data. For users that have data entry access, depending on their access role and additional agency access role, when they hover over the entry, they'll see a notebook and pen icon, which means they can edit. So read only will see the eye icon, indicating that they can view data, so they can still review coordinated entry enrollment and coordinated entry referrals. Just wanted to share that information. So we'll go ahead and move forward for right now. Any other questions or feedback, feel free to add that into the chat and we can revisit. Hugo?
The final page of the HMIS consent to share protected personal information form has been updated to reflect changes in the roster of HMIS participating agencies. This form can be found on the OC HMIS website by navigating to HMIS Forms and Documents, HMIS policy and privacy forms, and consent to share personal protected information. A complete list of all entities that participate in HMIS is found at the following hyperlink.
Thank you, Hugo. And we just wanted to also note that on the consent form, we also have a link to our website, which includes a live list of all agencies. Since we do update this on a quarterly basis, if you want.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, sorry. Just wanted to note that on the consent form, it does include a link to our website, and the link is actually a looker report, which includes a live list of all active agencies. The form itself is going to be updated quarterly, but if your agency would like to see the live list, you can click the second link on the slide, also included in the consent form for the live agency list. And thank you, Hugo. I don't see any questions. We'll go ahead and move forward.
Project performance reports. The project performance report for permanent supportive housing and other permanent housing will be published on the OC HMIS website in the upcoming weeks. Current and past PPRs can be found at the Orange County HMIS website by following OC HMIS, reports, and project performance reports. Corrections for the rapid rehousing PPR draft data will be published in the upcoming weeks. The project performance overview is a helpful document which provides important information regarding the PPRs, including the thresholds for each goal and our publishing schedule. The quarterly data and performance management meeting is scheduled to resume Wednesday, May 8th at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Hugo. We do have a question regarding consent. The question is, if a client if the client refused to provide consent or revoke their consent, yes. The user should be adding that under the client file tab and reaching out to the agency admin to provide to submit a ticket to the HMS Help Desk so the HMS Help Desk can support with anonymizing the client record if the client submits a form to revoke providing consent. Diana, could you link to that form into the chat? The question is if the form can be submitted without being signed. Unfortunately, no, the client does have to sign verifying that they request to revoke their consent. Otherwise, there isn't documentation that they wish to process that. Thank you for your question. We also do have some knowledge base articles related to release of information, so we'll go ahead and also add that into the chat and in our meeting minutes. I don't see any questions regarding PPR, so we'll move forward for right now. Michaela?
So here we have our resources and training. The HMIS website includes posting of upcoming community trainings and resources. Our trauma-informed and equitable approaches to data collection for HMIS is currently on our OC HMIS website. For Housing First, Still the Right Way to End Homeless, it is upcoming April 4th, 2024. And then Building a Better Emergency Transfer Plan is upcoming for April 18th, 2024.
Thank you, Michaela. And a friendly reminder to HMS, OC HMS users, the HMS Help Desk does post updates regarding any materials, upcoming webinars on our website. So feel free to review our website posts. We do post information from HUD and other resources so that you can review and attend those webinars. Michaela, I don't see any questions regarding this. We do have questions or there is a question if the links can be added. So yes, we will be adding the links to these resources to the chat shortly. I did notice some agency users jumping on a little bit later in the meeting, so I just wanted to highlight our HIC and PIT timeline, just revisiting this as a friendly reminder. For any agencies that have any outstanding item, please do check your inbox. Our HMS team has reached out to support with finalizing your data and any outstanding item. These items should be resolved by end of day so that we can finalize your agency data. Next Monday, we're going to be reaching out to all the agencies to review your final HIC-PIT submission and comparing that to the HDX upload. We are asking agencies to please provide confirmation by Wednesday that the data matches. A friendly reminder, there will be no additional corrections to the data. We're just confirming that the final submission is matching the data that is uploaded into HDX. And our team's goal is to have everything submitted in HDX and finalized by Friday, April 12th. If you do have any questions, please do feel free to reach out to our HMS help desk. Again, thank you all for your ongoing support with the HIC and PIT. So we appreciate you working with our team and providing context regarding your agency. So please do keep an eye out. The resources are being linked into the chat, but these resources are posted on our website. So you can also go to our website to review and the upcoming webinars. I don't see any additional questions about this topic, so we can move forward. So for any user that joined us a little bit later in the meeting, please do enter your agency name into the chat so that we can take attendance. And we do have some time for Q&A. If there's any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or add your questions to the chat.